Here are some books I enjoy about obsessions. I'm going to start with an honorable mention. Moby Dick by Herman Melville. This is an obsession book, and it's in conversation with the next book that I'm going to show you. I haven't finished reading it. That's the main reason why I don't feel comfortable putting this in this list, because I haven't read the entire thing, so I don't know how obsessed and perverse it truly gets. Sky Daddy by Kate Folk. This is the story of a woman named Linda who is sexually obsessed with the idea of dying in a plane crash. To give you a little sample of like the tone, this book begins with a line from Moby Dick, and then we get a quote from the protagonist of the book: "Planes are the whales of the sky." And the first sentence of this book is indeed, "Call me Linda." So very clearly in dialogue with one another. Carmilla by J. Sheridan Le Fanu, or I actually don't know how to pronounce his last name, sorry King. This is one of the original pieces of vampire literature. The vampires in here inspired Anne Rice's vampires and inspired Bram Stoker's vampires. This is a story of a little bit of sexual obsession between Laura, our main character, and the interesting woman who comes to stay at her father's estate, Carmilla. They feel like a soul connection to one another. Even when it feels so wrong, they can't help but feel drawn to each other and don't quite understand the nature of this romantic and sexual pull they feel towards one another. Stag Dance by Tori Peters. This is a collection of short stories and one novella. If you like stories about perversion, you will like all of the short stories in here. But the novella, the titular story, Stag Dance, quite literally one of the best things I've ever read in my life, and I highly recommend everyone to read it, especially if you have any interest in queer literature and queer stories by queer authors that make no effort to be digestible to a cishet audience. It's about lumberjacks at like a lumberjack camp. Gender is experimented with. Gender roles are defied in this camp full of all men. And it's also kind of a creature feature. Just go read it. Like, read it now. This short story changed my life, so much so that I consider this to be one of my favorite books, even though I truly didn't care that much about any of the short stories except for the titular novella. Please, please, if you take one recommendation from this video, let it be this collection.